Have you ever found yourself staring at the ceiling, in the still, quiet hours between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m.? You open your eyes, and the world is silent. The street outside is empty. The clock seems frozen. It's just you, your thoughts, and that feeling. Maybe you toss. Maybe you turn. Maybe you reach for the blanket, trying to convince yourself to sleep. But something inside you says, "No, stay awake for a minute." You might think, it's just a restless night. Maybe I drank too much tea before bed. Maybe it's the stress of the day. But what if, it's not just that? What if your body is whispering something to you? What if it's trying to tell you something important, something you've been too busy, or too tired, to notice? For many women over 60, those early morning wake-ups aren't just about bad sleep. They can be signs, small signals, that your body and your mind are asking for attention. Signals that, if ignored, could slowly chip away at your health, your energy, even your peace of mind. Think about it, at 3 a.m., your phone is quiet. No one's calling. The world is still. But your body? Your body is awake. And it's not always by accident. Now here's the part most people never think about. These hours, between 3 and 5, have been studied, discussed, and even respected in different health traditions around the world. Some see them as the body's repair hours. Others believe they're deeply connected to your emotions, your breathing, even your heart. And here's where it gets interesting. If you learn how to respond in those moments, not by fighting it, but by gently listening, you can actually use that time to help your body, to calm your mind, and to wake up in the morning feeling lighter, clearer, and more refreshed. So today, I'm going to share 5 simple but powerful things you can do if you wake up between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. Each one blends old wisdom with modern science. And the last one, number 5, is the one most women completely overlook. But it might just change the way you see those early wake-ups forever. But before we dive in, I want to know. How often does this happen to you? Do you wake up between 3 and 5 more nights than not? If you do, just drop a quick yes in the comments. Let's see how many of us share this same experience. And if you're new here, welcome to Elderly Wisdom Tips, where we share simple, powerful advice to help you live with more comfort, energy, and peace in your later years. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you never miss the tips that could make tomorrow just a little bit better than today. Let's start with the first thing you should do when you wake up at that hour. Hydrate your body, gently. Picture this. You wake up in the dark, and the air feels a little dry. Your throat is scratchy, your mouth feels like cotton, but instead of reaching for a drink, you think, "It's fine, I'll sleep it off." So you roll over, close your eyes, and hope to drift back into sleep. But here's the problem. By the time the morning comes, instead of feeling rested, you feel groggy. Your head feels heavier. Your body feels weaker. And you wonder why. What's really happening is this: as we age, our body's water balance changes. We're not as efficient at storing or using hydration as we were in our younger years. Our kidneys work differently. Our skin loses moisture faster. And during the night, even while we sleep, we're still losing water, through our breath, through our skin. When you're low on fluids, your body has to work harder. Your heart pumps harder. Your brain struggles to relax. That's why dehydration at night can lead to restlessness, headaches, muscle cramps, and in some cases, even place extra strain on your heart. Now, I know what you might be thinking: if I drink water at night, I'll just end up running to the bathroom. And yes, if you chug a big glass, that's probably true. But here's the trick: you don't need a lot. 2 or 3 small, slow sips of room temperature water are enough to gently rehydrate your body without overloading your bladder. It's like giving your system a soft, quiet signal that says, "You're safe. You can relax now." I keep a small glass by my bedside every single night. Not a bottle with a screw cap, not something that takes effort to open, just a simple glass within arm's reach. When I wake up in those hours, I take those sips. I feel the water roll down my throat. I feel my body respond. And more often than not, I'm able to fall back asleep faster, and I wake up in the morning feeling fresher. So, if you start waking up at 3 or 4 a.m., before you turn on the TV, before you scroll your phone, before you even think about what time it is, take those few sips. It may feel like nothing in the moment, but your body will thank you for it when the sun comes up. But here's the thing. Sometimes, waking up in those hours has nothing to do with thirst. Sometimes, it's not your body at all, it's your emotions, quietly tapping you on the shoulder in the dark. I remember a message I once got from a viewer named Helen. She told me, I kept waking up at 4 a.m. for no reason. My body felt tense, my jaw was tight, and my mind was racing, even when I didn't have anything to worry about. I thought I just needed to wait it out, but the more I fought it, the more awake I became. Then she tried something simple, just 2 minutes of slow, intentional breathing. No fancy equipment. No guided meditation app. Just her and her breath. And you know what happened? She told me she fell back asleep faster, and when she woke up in the morning, she felt calmer, lighter, and strangely more in control of her day. Now, here's something fascinating. In traditional Chinese medicine, the hours between 3 and 5 in the morning are known as the body's lung time. This is when your lungs, and in a deeper sense, your breathing, are at their peak of activity. It's also a time connected to emotional release. If you're carrying unspoken worries, grief, or stress, your body might choose these hours to gently nudge you awake, almost like it's saying, hey, let's deal with this now, while the world is quiet. The problem is, most of us try to ignore it. We think, I just need to get back to sleep. Or we believe we need a big lifestyle change to get rid of stress, more exercise, a whole new routine, maybe even a different diet. And yes, those things help, but here's the truth, you don't have to fix everything at 4 a.m. Sometimes, you just need a micro moment of calm to signal to your body, you're safe. You can rest. That's why I love the 4-7-8 breathing method. It's simple. It's quick. And it works. Here's how it goes. Breathe in through your nose for a count of 4 seconds. Hold that breath gently for 7 seconds. Then exhale slowly, fully, through your mouth for 8 seconds. Do this 3 times. That's it. It's amazing how something so small can have such a big impact. Your heart rate slows down. Your muscles release their tension. Your thoughts start to fade into the background. And before you know it, you're either drifting back to sleep or resting peacefully in the quiet. So, if you wake up and feel that invisible weight pressing down on your chest, try this. It's not about forcing yourself to sleep, it's about telling your body, I'm okay. I can let go now. But breathing isn't the only way your body tries to reset itself at that hour. Sometimes, those early wake-ups are your body's way of saying, move me, just a little. Sometimes, when you wake up in those early hours, it's not your mind calling the shots, it's your body. Not with pain so sharp it demands attention, but with a quiet stiffness, a dull ache, a gentle tug in your joints or muscles. I think about my Aunt Margaret. She was active her whole life, always gardening, walking, doing little chores around the house. But in her late 70s, she started waking up between 3 and 4 a.m., not because she was thirsty or anxious, but because her hips felt stiff. The kind of stiffness that makes you shift in bed and sigh, hoping it will pass. One night, instead of lying there frustrated, she got up slowly and tried a few gentle stretches right there in her bedroom. Just a slow roll of the shoulders. A little ankle rotation. A gentle bend forward to loosen her back. It took less than a minute. And here's the amazing part, she told me that when she lay back down, she not only fell asleep faster, but when morning came, her body felt lighter. No dragging ache. No stiffness that lingered all day. Here's why this matters. As we age, our joints naturally lose flexibility. The cartilage that cushions them gets thinner. Muscles don't bounce back quite as quickly. And during the night, when we're lying still for hours, that lack of movement can cause everything to tighten up. Your body, being the smart thing it is, sometimes wakes you up, not to annoy you, but to protect you. It's saying, hey, before you stay in one position too long, let's move a little. The mistake many people make is thinking, well, I stretched before bed. That should be enough. But if your body is sending you a signal at 3 a.m., ignoring it can mean waking up sore, achy, or with that telltale stiffness that slows you down the rest of the day. The fix is simple. You don't need a whole workout. You don't need to turn on the lights and get into exercise clothes. Just take 60 seconds for what I call a mobility check. Roll your shoulders forward and back. Gently stretch your calves by flexing your feet. Rotate your ankles in slow circles. Maybe even stretch your arms over your head and breathe in deeply. These small movements can increase blood flow, loosen your muscles, and reassure your joints that they're still cared for. And once your body feels at ease again, slipping back into sleep, or at least into deep rest, becomes so much easier. But not every early wake-up is about physical comfort. Sometimes when you wake up at that quiet hour, your body feels fine, but your mind? It's already wide awake, turning over thoughts, questions, memories, or worries you didn't quite finish with during the day. I think of my friend Lillian. She told me she started waking up at 3:30 every single morning, not because she was in pain or uncomfortable, but because her thoughts wouldn't let her rest. One night it was her grocery list. Another night it was an old conversation she couldn't stop replaying. Sometimes it was a worry about her children, even though they were all grown. She tried all the usual tricks, counting sheep, closing her eyes tighter, forcing herself to think of something pleasant. But the harder she tried to push the thoughts away, the more awake she became. Then one day, she decided to do something different. She placed a small notepad and pen right on her nightstand. And the next time she woke up worrying, instead of wrestling with the thoughts, she reached for that notepad. She wrote down just two things, one thing she was grateful for in that moment, and one worry she could set aside until tomorrow. It took less than a minute. And she told me that after doing it for a few nights, she felt lighter in the mornings, less weighed down by the thoughts she'd been carrying through the night. Here's why this works. Our brains process emotions differently in the early morning hours. It's almost like the filter we have during the day. The one that helps us prioritize, reason, and let things go, gets a little weaker when we're half asleep. That's why anxiety and overthinking can feel louder and heavier at 3 a.m. And here's the part most people get wrong: you don't have to fix the problem right there in bed. You don't need to solve the worry or come up with a plan in the middle of the night. Often, simply acknowledging the thought, naming it, putting it on paper, is enough to calm the mind so it can rest again. The next time you wake up with a busy mind, try this: keep a small notebook and pen next to your bed, or if you prefer, use your phone's notes app with the screen dimmed. Write, don't dwell. One gratitude, one worry. Then set it down, literally and mentally, and tell yourself, this will wait until morning. It's a simple act, but it's like setting down a heavy bag you didn't realize you were carrying. Your mind relaxes. Your breath slows. And often, sleep returns on its own. And now, we come to one more practice, one that blends the physical, the emotional, and even a little bit of the spiritual. It's something you can do in those early hours that not only helps in the moment, but can transform the way your body responds to sleep in the long run. I once spoke to a woman named Helen, 72 years old, sharp as ever, but tired of waking up at 4 a.m. every day. At first, she said, those early hours felt like a punishment. The house was silent, the world outside still dark, and she felt like she was simply counting the minutes until morning. But then she made one small change. Instead of fighting those wake-ups, she started using them. She would slip out of bed, put on a soft sweater, and sit quietly by her window with a warm cup of herbal tea. At first, she didn't notice much. But over time, she realized something. Those moments became the most peaceful part of her day. She told me, "It's like I've stopped waking up too early, and started waking up exactly when I'm meant to. I just see it differently now." Here's why this works. Our bodies run on an internal 24-hour rhythm called the circadian clock. When that clock gets out of sync, maybe from stress, irregular sleep, or even changes in seasons, we can find ourselves waking up too early. One of the most powerful ways to reset that clock is through light. Light is more than just something we see. It's a signal to our brain. When natural light enters your eyes in the morning, it tells your body, it's time to be awake. And later, when the light fades, your body responds by releasing melatonin, that gentle hormone that nudges you towards sleep. The problem is, many of us, especially as we age, don't get enough natural light early in the day. We spend our mornings indoors, maybe with the curtains half closed, maybe under soft indoor lighting that's nowhere near the strength of sunlight. And without that signal, our internal clock can drift, leading to restless nights and unwanted early wake-ups. Here's the misconception: most people think the answer to waking too early is to force more sleep. They close their eyes tighter, pull the blankets up, and try to push their body back into rest. But sometimes, the fastest way back to better sleep isn't forcing it in the moment, it's training your body to know exactly when to wake and when to rest. So here's a gentle tip you can try. If you find yourself awake in the early hours, don't rush to turn on every light in the house. Instead, sit near a window, even before the sun rises fully. Take slow, steady breaths. Let your eyes softly take in the first hints of daylight. You're not doing much, just quietly allowing your body to sense the morning coming. Over time, your body learns. It starts to understand, this is morning, this is my start. And slowly, those 4 a.m. wake-ups may shift later, and your nights may feel deeper and more restorative. And even if the time doesn't change right away, you might notice something else. Those early hours can become less about frustration and more about connection, with yourself, with the quiet of the world, and with the natural rhythm of the day. Now, when we combine all these practices, hydration, mindful breathing, gentle movement, reflection, and morning light, we're not just improving our nights. We're giving our body and mind a language of calm it can return to, night after night. But let's weave this together with one more thing, a final thought about why listening to your body in the quiet hours can be the most healing thing you'll ever do. I know, it can feel lonely in those hours when the world is still asleep. You hear the hum of the refrigerator, the faint ticking of the clock, maybe the distant sound of a car on an empty street. And there you are, awake, wishing you weren't. It's easy to think, why is this happening to me? What's wrong with my body? But I want you to consider something. What if your body isn't betraying you? What if it's guiding you? Sometimes, waking up in the stillness isn't a sign of weakness. It's a quiet invitation. An invitation to check in with yourself. To notice your breath. To tend to the stiffness in your joints before it turns into pain. To release the thoughts your mind was holding onto all day. To sit in the calm before the rush of the world begins. When we stop fearing those moments, they stop feeling like a problem. Instead of dreading them, we can begin to use them. A sip of water to hydrate. A few deep breaths to reset your heart rate. A gentle stretch to loosen the hips. A reflection to lighten the mind. A quiet seat near the window to greet the light. These aren't just small acts. They are signals to your body, reminders that you are safe, cared for, and in control of your own rhythm. So tonight, if you wake between 3 and 5 a.m., don't rush into frustration. Don't grab your phone and scroll through endless headlines. Just try one of these steps. See how it feels. Let it be your moment, not a moment taken from you. Because here's the truth, it's never too late to turn a restless moment into a healing moment. And when you do, you'll find that even the quietest hours can bring you the deepest kind of rest. Let's bring it all together. 5 simple, gentle steps, each one easy enough to do in the quiet hours, but powerful enough to change the way you see those early wake-ups. Hydrate gently, because even a small sip of water can give your heart, brain, and joints the fuel they need to settle back into rest. Breathe deeply, reminding your nervous system that you are safe, and inviting your body back into balance. Stretch softly, keeping your muscles and joints supple, so you wake without that heavy stiffness. Reflect with gratitude, lightening the weight of unprocessed thoughts, and letting your mind rest as deeply as your body. And prepare for light, so your body's inner clock stays in rhythm, guiding you toward more restorative nights and brighter mornings. 5 small actions. And yet, in the stillness of the early morning, they can become your secret weapon for better health, steadier mood, and a stronger body. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these will you try first? Or maybe you already have your own little 3 a.m. ritual, a way to turn restlessness into something peaceful, even healing. Share it in the comments below, because your tip might be exactly what someone else needs to hear tonight to sleep better. And if you found comfort or clarity here, remember, this is only one piece of the puzzle. We share so many practical, heart-centered elderly wisdom tips designed for women embracing every stage of life. From sleep and mobility to nutrition and emotional wellness, this is your space to feel seen, supported, and inspired. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and join our growing community. Thank you for spending this time with me. Rest well tonight, wake refreshed tomorrow. And until we meet again in the next video, take care of yourself, because you are worth it.